Hey y'all, welcome to Swamp Talk, where we talk about everything Magic the Gathering. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Thomas.
Let's peel back a couple layers and get into this. So today we're going to be talking about game stores. I recently traveled to Indianapolis just to visit our brother. We were looking for something to do in the afternoon, and lo and behold, 5 minutes from where he was, there's a card shop, game shop. We go check it out. Incredible place. Awesome, awesome, and it got me really thinking about how there's a lot of different LGSs. None are quite the same. Um, this place lively. Where we are, there's kind of three different base models of stores that we're kind of seeing, at least for us. There's one store, huge, massive inventory. They have everything Magic. They have everything Warhammer, all kinds of stuff. Uh, Huge store. It feels really corporate. There's no play space. You know, we go there every once in a while because we know they're going to have things, but it's not my favorite place to go.
No, not for cards. Not for like things that have to do with magic. We tend to go there for things like sleeves or the accessories that come along with magic. But we don't really go there for the excitement of playing magic or interacting with players or even participating in what magic has to offer. So I would agree. It's like that corporate store, right? You could almost call it the Target of game stores, where they're there to sell inventory. That's what they're there for. They have a ton of it. They sell it at expensive prices, but it's there. You can get there if you're looking to support a local game store. I mean, it is a local game store that you could support.
Yeah, it's one of those funny things when I go there. Yeah, they have lots of stuff. Packs are always $2 more expensive. They have a ton of staff. There's somebody always there to help you. It's not a dig on that. It's always very professional. It's always really nice. It's really clean. Um, but it doesn't remind me of when I started playing, and maybe that's just because 16-year-old high school me was a little dirtier, or whatnot, or a little grimy, or whatever it may be. But it's just almost feels too corporate to feel fun at times, and if you like that, that's
Yep.
fine. I don't like the lack of play space. I really want to be able to go there and find a pod. Assuming it's at a time that makes sense. That leads us to another place by us. Really small, one man operation. There is no staff. It is this guy and his dream. he,
Yeah.
he has a full time job and this. There's nobody there to help him. He's making it happen. He does not have much inventory. It is sparse. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much just Magic
Mm-hmm.
the Gathering, a little bit of a couple other card games. But even the Magic stuff, it's like, will he have packs? Will he not have packs? Will he have sleeves? I don't know. Um,
Yeah. He's really all he's really all play space, right? He's trying
yeah.
to bring in the player experience. He's trying to bring the player experience back, and that's really cool. I mean, it is unfortunate that you can't you're not going to find a lot of staples there that you could buy. You're not going to be able to support him in that way where you're buying singles. You're not buying bulk, right? So he'll have pre-release stuff. He'll have some packs, usually of the newest sets, but it doesn't really sell anything that's older. Doesn't really sell, a lot of larger sealed products. So it doesn't. You have to buy boxes, before you actually get them. So you have to kind of tell him that you want to get it, and then he'll order it for you. But he
Yeah,
yeah, he
it's
doesn't he doesn't have anything like on hand like the big store does, which always has sealed product. Has almost all the commander decks that have existed for the last like 3 years. Like it's a
or
very
more.
different vibe. Yeah, or more. Yeah, it's a very different vibe. But this card shop, this small card shop, is really pushing on this idea of playability. Like they want to bring Magic back to the days where we used to play in person with different people.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I've been there 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. On a break, running past. Man, there's people there playing. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. Middle of the week. It's mostly high school kids, maybe some younger 20s guys, but man, they're there. They're playing a game. They're having it out. Might be two guys, might be three guys. They might be playing standard. They could be playing commander. It's crazy. I don't think I've ever been there and there not been a game going. It's like a constant thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I've been to so many shops where there might be people playing, there might not be people playing. You know, we can go here. Will he have a rampant growth? Probably not. Will there be somebody playing a game? Oh yeah, there'll be somebody playing a game. If you need a pickup game, this is the place to go. There's almost always somebody there. If he's open, there's somebody playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those beautiful things where I give him incredible credit. He's making his dream happen. I couldn't imagine working than doing this all on his own, no staff, no support, no nothing, just a man in a dream. Huge credit. Hopefully he makes it happen. And I think to some extent, if he makes it happen, he'll become really what I would consider the third kind of shop that we have here, which is, I'd argue, kind of the mecca for me.
Yeah.
We were recently to a shop that, for a pre-release event, that had, was it 50-ish people playing in a pre-release? Something about
At
that.
least, at least.
Yeah,
I mean, they
maybe.
had 23 tables
Yeah,
of play that were playing.
it was crazy. I mean, just droves of people upon droves of people. And this shop, huge play space. I mean, easily could sit 60, 70 players, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Crazy. And they had inventory. I saw 7th edition packs, OG dual lands, a couple of alpha cards as singles. I mean, they had product for days as far as
Mm-hmm.
singles, as far as sealed. I mean, they had every set in set draft play boosters for, I think, back to the original Innistrad. Then they had a couple 7th edition, some stuff from very early, in smaller quantities. But I think what was beautiful about this shop is, after the pre-release event, everyone's, a bunch of people filed out. They'd done their thing, and all of a sudden, one of the staff said, "Hey, who wants to do a draft?" And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
15, 20 hands shoot up, and it's like, she's just doing a draft on the fly with the guy who's left over from the pre-release event. What?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it was beautiful that there was definitely that kind of people wanted to come and wanted to play, but they still had this inventory, and I think this is the third kind of card shop that I love to see, where obviously it's just kind of Magic. There really isn't a whole lot of space for anything else. It's purely cards. Um, but it's just so much fun where they have, I mean, when we played there, Tom, you bought a single in between games because you realized you didn't have something in your decks.
I mean, that's an interesting story, right? Because it kind of brings me back to the old school days when we were in high school playing, where you get done playing a couple games and you realize I don't have a card, right? Or this card would sit really well in this deck. So you go up to the the store shop and hey, do you have this card? And they would have it. They would have a lot of the staples and or a lot of the cards that you were looking for, and they would sell it to you, and then you stick it into your deck, and you play a couple more games, right? And this was really cool. I actually it was a Path to Exile that was a card I was missing. I just hadn't put it into the deck, and I had one at home, but I was like, no, if I'm gonna play another game of this, I want my Path to Exile, right?
It's,
I want my card,
yeah, when
and
you need that single target removal,
yeah,
you need that single target removal.
yeah. So when I went up and this place does it like so well, right? They have computers in which you go buy your singles, and then when you when it's done, it's almost like going to like a sandwich shop, right? Like a restaurant. You
Yeah.
go in, you order your card, you go sit down, you're playing with your friends. All of a sudden they'll yell, "Order for Path to Exile," and then you stand up, let them know, and then you go up, you pay for it, and then and then you're done. Like it was really cool, and then see all their product. And I think one of the coolest things about the store for me, and you actually pointed this out at first, was they really want to promote different formats. They were selling a bunch of draft boosters, 3 for 10s, trying to really promote this idea of trying to get drafts together. Right? Come up, spend $10, get 3 packs, go with your friends, go draft a game. Man, even if you're not a draft person, maybe you're a sealed person, spend $20, get 6 packs, and go play a game. I mean, I personally have never played a sealed event where it cost $20, right? It's always been more. It's always been like 30, $40
Yeah.
to go play a
Not
sealed event.
recently, yeah. Like
Yeah. So to have like the ability to play a sealed event, the ability to go and do a draft with your friends for a reasonable price from a game store that is has an enormous amount of products, right? And they're sitting on this product, and this can't be cheap. But they look at the players and say like this is that relationship they're trying to build, right? They're trying to make it so that you have a reason to come here and you have a reason to stay, and that's a huge deal. And I hope that more game stores can get to that point, and less game stores go to the first game store that you were talking about, which is the one that we have is very corporate. You just go there just to buy product, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, I
yeah.
love that place. I love that place. I know the names of the employees, like we know each other. Like they know when I walk in, they know when I order things. Like I order a lot for them, but it does have that downfall of no play space.
Yeah, the lack of play space is always bothered me. Recently when I went to Indianapolis, uh, I'll even say Elfin Moon Gaming and Hobby. This place, one of the most incredible game card shops I've ever been into. Absolutely beautiful, wooden shelves everywhere, really nice, really clean, really great tables. They had Magic, they had Warhammer, they had Dungeons and I mean, they had all kinds of different things. Was it massive inventory of singles? No, not really. The singles and stuff like that kind of limited, but they had some sealed product. But I think what was really incredible about this store is I walk in and these beautiful tables, beautiful play space in the back. First table, there's a table playing Dungeons and Dragons. The next table, they're playing a different RPG. I go to the third table, there's a game of CEDH going. Uh, I go to the fourth table, it's a bunch of guys with pre-guns. I go to the fifth table, it was actually guys playing standard. Um, they had rooms in the back. I mean, just beautiful space. It was beautiful to see all like different games represented there, different people, very different power levels with the card gamers, and then everybody else, and everybody was having a good time. Something this place did, which honestly I hope more places do, is they sold beer.
Hmm.
um I know that's not a very common thing, at least for us, but I tell you, if I go back and I have stuff, I'll go play a game there. I'll go get a beer and do a draft. I'll go. I mean, in all honesty, that's the dream for me. If I'm like, hey man, you want to go do a draft? Let's go here. We can spend $20 on packs and $5 on a beer, and what? Like, and just the energy of, I mean, so many people there, so happy, so much noise, so much commotion, so much fun. I love it when these game stores have that energy, and I think that's what the play spaces really bring. Obviously it's nice when they have product. We all like them to have whatever we want, but going and mixing it up with some people can be so much fun. Like some of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite games have been with completely random people that I've never played with before and never played with again. But sometimes they have really cool ideas that are like, man, I never considered that. That's a good addition. Like that's a weird combo, and
Mm-hmm.
I think you can only get that in game stores that really kind of promote that. Hey, come play a draft, come play commander, come play standard, come play whatever you want. You get to see people, and obviously everybody has a different kind of take on things. And I think supporting those local stores, especially, obviously we're way out of it, but COVID really changed how many people play in person and how many people play online. Um, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many players that play on Magic, I mean, ourselves included. But going and mixing it up at a store, especially the right gaming store that has that vibe, you're going to go there. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to be able to do whatever you want to do, play what you want to play, and you don't necessarily need to go with a bunch of people. You and your buddy can go. There'll be other people playing there, and that can be so much fun. Uh,
Yeah.
it's finding that right store, even if it's a little bit out of your way, even if maybe it's a little bit more expensive or different things. It could just change the vibe, man. Like I love it.
Yeah. I think that brings me to like the next thing I want to talk about, which is that relationship between a game store and its players. Right? I, you and I both remember this first game store that you talked about. Right? It wasn't always like this. They moved from a different location to the location they're in now, and their old location, which was ran by the original owner, had play space, had
Yeah.
a ton of product. I mean, they were selling board games, Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, and Magic and Pokemon, all in this one spot. They had a, they didn't have like a huge play space, but it was a good. It was good play space. I mean, they were running events and stuff, and I remember doing events there, and oh man, it was so much fun, right? And it brings me back. And now the way that I look at it is like they went super corporate. But the interesting thing about how that relationship plays is when they recently, this game store recently did a renovation on their store. Basically, there was a storefront that was next to them, and they moved out, and this game store took over the entire space. And you and I and other people that we knew were having conversations. What are they going to put here, right? Are they going to get game space, right? Are they going to put this stuff in? Like there was a lot of excitement for what they were going to do. What they ended up doing was just putting more storefront in. And I know that for a lot of people, including me, it was kind of a letdown. It's kind of like, oh, you had this opportunity to kind of bring people back in the store, and you didn't. And then this Mecca game store, let's call it the third game store. Uh, when we walked in, or when I walked in, I was, I felt like I just stepped back into the past, where we were, we would walk in, we'd see all these people, maybe some people you know, some people you don't. The person who's run the store is just wheeling and dealing cards and packs all over the place, trying to get events set up. And everyone's just having a good time. Everyone's just playing, and it was a really refreshing a sight, to the point that from you and I mean, it's probably the furthest game store from both of us, and I would suggest that we would go to that store more often than the ones that are even closer to us.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
I think you got a huge point. It's definitely a drive, and I think it's worth it. I mean, I think that I'd go there. I'd go there for a pre-release. I'd go there for a draft. I'd go there just for the heck of it. Get a soda, buy a pack, play some games, mix it up. I mean, it feels great having even the other tables around you. That excitement. Sometimes you're playing Commander and you get eliminated early. It happens to everybody. It's okay. We
Mm-hmm.
understand. And sometimes if you're at home, well, I guess you're going to stand up and make some popcorn or whatever it may be. But when you're at one of these places, you can stand up, you can walk around. What are they playing? What are they doing? Like, what's happening? Go buy a pack, whatever it may be. It's just kind of a different vibe, where you can kind of go check it out, see what's going on. Sometimes you're watching somebody play something you have, and they have some crazy 5 cent card in there from 16 years ago that you've never read before. And you're like, what is that nonsense? And watch it combo out and win the game. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just incredible watching what some people find because there's just so many cards and so many ways to play this. sometimes mixing it up is the only way to really learn some of these things. And it's really, really fun to kind of experience that live. And you can only do it at a game store that really supports that kind of community where everybody wants to be friendly, everybody wants to have a good time, play a game, and it's obviously it's competitive. I mean, if people didn't want to win, they wouldn't play games. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that you can't have fun in a loss because you can, and some decks are that way, but winning feels good, especially when it's with something weird and off the wall.
Well, I mean, like competitive is the game of Magic. Now, you could label competitive in different ways. Like there are some people who are going to be competitive where you make a mistake and they're not going to let you roll it back, right? Like this is a there's something on the line here. So you made a mistake and you get a judge calling of a warning or maybe like a game loss because of a mistake you made, and that is something that your opponent brings upon because like there's stuff on the line. There's sometimes when you're playing like a commander game where you make a mistake, they're gonna roll it back. Everyone at the table wants to win, but they're willing to let you roll back this mistake that you made, make a different decision. That's a that is those are still competitive. It's just how how lenient are you going to be in that moment? And I can game with the best of them, right? Like I can play in a game where we're being really relaxed. I can play in a game where it's strict rules, right? Uh, but the fact that I could, be sitting at a game playing with some playing with some friends, playing Commander, and all of a sudden the game store owner could stand up like, "Hey, we're gonna start a draft of this set," and I could be like, guys, I know this game is cool. Let's end this game and let's go draft. Uh, Man, that would be like that. Just brings me back to the days when that was a big thing, and uh, I thought that was dead. To be honest, I thought that at least in our area, um, that's not really something that happens. A lot of the game stores are not. They're providing game space. They might be providing game space. They might be providing product, but they're not there to facilitate fun, right? They're not trying to start events. They're not trying to, get people involved or bring the communities together. They're there to allow you to play and sell you product. Um, but this game store was a really refreshing a site where you had mentioned it. They they got done with the pre-release. They saw some people that were just playing some games and like, there are 12 people here. Let's start a draft. Who wants to draft?
It's a level of charisma that not every person's gonna have, where they just like, hey, I see people here. They look like they maybe would do something, maybe wouldn't, and they're just not afraid. Hey, man, maybe I can sell some draft packs, make it facilitate some games. Like, not every store owner is gonna have that kind of gumption to kind of get that
Mm-hmm.
going, and I think the store owners that do are going to be so more successful. And hopefully people go out there and play again. We play at home, we play online. You know, we've been playing more and more in person at these stores in the last year because honestly, it's an element of camaraderie that I definitely miss from when we first started playing, 20 years ago. And I hope more and more stores really buy into this and really understand that creating a really fun play space and really helping push some of this weird product. I mean, who's going to call for a Brothers War draft randomly after a Dragon Storm pre-release event? Like,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I
this is
mean,
like yeah. It's an interesting thing, right? Because it's like it's the relationship. It's the game store can do it, but the people have to be also willing to participate as well. Um, but yes, you are absolutely correct. Like this lady who was running the store was wheeling and dealing out packs. I mean, was this was masterclass in how to run a game store. But it was so cool to just see that like organic. These people don't know each other. They may have played each other like at least once in this pre-release event. Let's get them all together. Let's just get them all. Let's play some games. And wow, like masterclass in how to run a game store, masterclass in understanding the relationship between the game store and the players, and also making the environment welcoming enough that the players are willing to submit into that 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 environment that you are trying to produce. So absolutely super cool.
Yeah, it's again, we'll make the drive back for sure again. It was so much fun. I would, if I ever go back to Indianapolis, I'll definitely play at this store. It was kind of the same thing with this guy. It's incredible to see other communities, other games, all so vibrant and playing together. Um, I hope to see more of it from more stores. Um, as Magic grows, it's not just some small segment of the population where it's getting bigger and bigger. You're seeing more and more, bros, as I'll call them, playing. Some of my favorite games have been with random guys who are very clearly kind of the sports bros who are like, I'm playing Magic for some competitive nature. And it's fun. I mean, these guys are there to win, they're there to have fun, though. And it's really, really fun to see. I hope more of them come to stores like this. There's more stores that go on like this. Um, and I hope wherever you guys live, that you have really fun stores. You go out there and you mix it up with some randoms. It's not just about playing with who you know, playing with some randoms, and then maybe they become part of your regular pot. You know, um, it can be a lot of fun.
That brings that is a big point that I want to push out to the viewers. Right, you and I fell into this problem where we had started a play group, and it was 4 people, and yeah, at the very beginning we were playing a lot, and then stuff gets busy, things happen, and it's just the way that it is. So our 4 group became a 3 group, and then my brother moved away, and it became a 2 group, right? And the only way that we could play with him was online. And for the viewers, if you are falling into that problem as well, the best thing that you can do is go to these game stores because you're going to meet people that want to play the same games as you. They're going to want to play the same type of game with you. They want to play the same power level as you. And then you can build a huge group of people where you were at first maybe only able to play once a month. Maybe you're playing once a week now because you've got 4 play groups that are all playing at different times, and you've met a ton of people, and you're cycling people in and out of those play groups because you're meeting more people. And if you find yourself in the rut of having to either go on spell table because that's the only way that you get to play, and everybody knows on spell table who knows what you're going to find, but thank God it's there, but it's a you're not necessarily sure about what kind of game you're gonna play. But if you find yourself in that place, go out to these game stores. Go find a game store that's promoting this kind of stuff because you will find that meeting people at these places can be the kick in your step that you need to get more motivated to play more games or to get into different types of games, right? Like you and I haven't played draft. Like we haven't played draft in a long time, but we've played more draft in the last, I don't know. Let's just call it the beginning of the year. It's the beginning of the year. Than we've played in a couple of years, just because like we know more people, and we know more people that are willing to do it. So it's fun to see though.
It's fun, and play whatever you want to play, guys. It's gonna be fun. Get out there, meet some people, play whatever you want to play. Learn some weird combos, man. Some people who've been playing for 20 years know some weird stuff, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. How much that card cost? 60 cents? Oh, I'm gonna get one. We're gonna get one of those. We're gonna do some crazy stuff. Sometimes it doesn't have to be expensive to be good. Um, but from here at Swamp Talk, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed this one. say please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. We're still learning here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Thomas.
See y'all.
We're out.